Welcome to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network with your hostess, Josey. Join like-minded real estate investors and accelerate your business towards greatness. You will hear step-by-step strategies for success, interviews with real estate rock stars, and we will dig deep into past projects where we bear it all, including the good, the bad, and some just plain ugly. So get excited. Here's the bestower of badassery herself, the real Josey. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to my very first podcast. Whoop, whoop. I'm so excited you are joining me. My name is Josey. I am the creator of RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. You can find us at rainmastermind.com. You can learn tons of stuff. Today, we are going to be discussing names, business names, and how important it is to have a great business name so that you are going to stand out from the competition. So to start off, I have decided I'm going to start every episode with a badassery bestowment. So right there, that is a name which is going to make me stand out, because if you remember in my intro by that super delicious voice, he said the bestower of badassery, Josey. So that is the name that I gave myself. And so my badassery bestowment to you is just my little gift, just a tip that has helped me in the past. And so the one I'm going to do is a very recent one. We had a property that was getting finished up. Our flooring guys took 2 days longer, pushed us back, which annoyed me because I like to list a property on a Thursday night or by Friday at noon so that the weekend can get booked up with showings, and then we'll be under contract by Sunday evening. So that was my plan, and these people put me behind. We had driven over there. They said they were finished with their work, and they were not. We had the sign in the yard, and I just said, you know what? I'm sick of hearing that shit rolling around in my trunk. So we stuck the sign in the yard, and we were headed to the beach. So we went to the beach. We're there, and couple hours after we got there, someone called and they said, hey, we're looking at your sign, and we're really interested in this property. Tell us a little bit about it. So we talked about it, and they said, well, we have been looking in this neighborhood for a long time. What are you offering it for? So we said $215. We weren't even confident with our number, but we went with it. So $215,000. They said, fine, we're going to send a contract over shortly. Sight unseen. They gave us a full cash offer, closing in 10 days. It was crazy. So that's my little badassery bestowment, is put a sign in your yard, even if you aren't finished yet. You can do those signs, even during your renovation that say coming soon, just to start, piquing the interest. But do it. I had no idea how hot this neighborhood was. It was the first time I was working in that neighborhood. So that's it. Put a sign in the yard. All right. So going on with today, we're talking about your business name. This is so important because a business name can be one of the toughest decisions you make. It's something you're going to have to live with for a very long time. And I have a couple tips for you that may get your creative juices flowing. Maybe you already have a business name and it sucks. I have a couple ways for you to tweak it. So before we begin though, let me just announce my biggest pet peeve. I can't stand business names that are your initials. It's stupid. It is boring. Yawn. So do not do that. It's just so uncreative. It's tough for the client to remember. What is that guy's name? Or even if it's like somebody else's initial. I have a friend who it's the initials of both their kids. And so even if I met these people in person, I would forget their business name because their name, the initials aren't even their initials. So don't use initials. But if you're listening, and I know there's some of you that just were like, ugh, they just cringed because that's what their company is named after. For example, if your name is John Smith and the name of your company is JS Homes, here's a little trick. What you can do is you can say, yes, my company is JS Homes, as in just sold homes. Come up with a cool little phrase that will help people remember JS. And yes, it stands for John Smith, but then they go, oh, just sold homes. That will help them. So that's my pet peeve. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest. Let's start getting creative. So I like to start with an icon that's going to represent your business. So kind of work backwards. Think of something that, the old saying goes, a picture is worth a thousand words. If you're in real estate, which most of us are, make your business stand out by not using a house as your icon. If you order your business cards from, say, Vistaprint, like everybody does, they have the same house icons on everything. You're not going to stand out. I will say, though, I do have a girlfriend who has a house as her logo, but it's kind of a doodle-ish looking house, and it has a heart on the inside. It's actually very cute. It's got some good colorization, but people are going to see that your business is something properties or something homes. They know you're in real estate. You don't have to use a house. I have a good friend. His name is Blaze. And he's my adopted older brother, by the way. Love him. Hi, Blaze. So Blaze's company is called Trailblazer Home Solutions. So creative. He uses a flame as his icon. It makes him stand out a little bit. I have another girlfriend who has a really cute dog, and the name of her company is Smiling Dog Properties, and has a picture of her dog on her business cards. Love it. That's going to make you stand out. So sticking with icons, you want to make sure that you pick something that isn't necessarily just trendy of the time. So I've seen a lot of red door stuff, and it was great, say, a decade ago, because red doors were super cool. And by the way, disclaimer, I have a red door. I love my red door, but regardless. So if you are buying houses these days, the red door is not as cool anymore. People are choosing a lot more funkier colors. I have a friend who does pink doors. Love it. So you also want to choose an icon that is simple and you can reproduce it a lot. So you can use it as, for your website, for your profile picture, on marketing items. Like say if your company has something to do with like ships, you don't want to put a whole cruise ship on there. You might want to use like an anchor. So our icon that we use is an acorn, and we use it for two reasons. It's very meaningful to us. We live and work in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is known as the City of Oaks. And we love our community and we love the surrounding area. So we wanted to represent this, show a little pride in our logo. And then second, when we were doing our educational program getting started, there was a quote in one of our books that said, "Great oaks from little acorns grow." And I was like, oh. And it just, kind of represents businesses that have modest beginnings. And Vance and I didn't know what we were doing. We were starting from scratch, so we had huge dreams. So that acorn it fit us perfect. So I hope thinking of an icon has gotten your wheels turning. Next is to come up with an actual name. I would definitely avoid using your real last name unless it's like an overly popular last name. So like if your last name is Hall, for example, I know a couple Halls. You could do like Overhaul Homes. That's cute. And it's kind of just thrown in there. I also have a girlfriend, her last name is Hitchings, and they were considering, they didn't do this, but they were thinking about calling their company Hitching Post Properties, which super cute. Love it. Now on the downside, I do have a friend who did use their last name, let's say it is King. No, that's way too easy. I'm trying to look for a last name. I have Lockstate. I have a thing next. So say their last name is Lockstate. They had a legal battle with one of their contractors, and their name was Lockstate Homes, and they were able to find their home address. And then there was like a lot of unnecessary harassment that happened. So just be super, super careful using your last name. I don't know why it took me so long to come up with a last name. Anyway, so also another thing to check before you decide, see if that domain is available. The easiest way to check is to simply Google that businessname.com and see if it's available. So here's something funny. Getting ready to do all these podcasts and everything, and I'm going to be on a few podcast shows, and they said it's highly recommended that you create a website with your name so that people will, they're going to want to Google you after listening to you. And so I looked up jenjosey.com, and it's a sex addict website. Oh boy. So then I was like, ugh, I don't want to be Jennifer again. So I looked up Jennifer.com. It was the same website. This chick, anyway, so she has the Sex Addict website. So I had to come up with therealjenjosey.com. And then from there, with my brand, I'm still new doing all this stuff. I had to change up my Instagram name to The Real Jen Josey, just to kind of tie it all in together. So definitely want to do that. You want to Google it to see if it's available. When I created RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network, RAIN.com was already taken. So I knew I was going to be doing masterminds. So I went with RAINmastermind.com. So definitely Google it. And that will also help you to narrow down a couple names. Another nugget, you want to keep your business name short. This will come in handy when you are branching out and need to create separate LLCs. So like, for example, our original company was Jolific Homes. But when we did the website, we only did jolific.com. And that became our email addresses. So then 18 months down the road, we bought our first Airbnb and then a couple more rental properties. So we created Jolific Properties. And if I'm emailing someone, it just keeps continuity. So if I'm emailing someone about our Airbnb, it's coming from jennifer@jolific.com. It doesn't matter if it's Jolific Homes or Jolific Properties. So if you can shorten it down and only do the name instead of the, jolifichomes.com, it's just going to keep your business, keep a lot of continuity. Also, don't do like Susan at wishingwellpropertiesinSouthCarolina.com. That my fingers are tired from having to type all that. That's just plain way too much. Susan at wishingwellpropertiesinSouthCarolina.com. Way too much. Don't do it. And speaking of email addresses, pay the whopping $6 a month and get a G Suite so that your business name can be the .com. When you are emailing someone and it comes from your company at gmail.com, that screams rookie and lets any possible business clients know that you are not serious about your company. So when you get your G Suite, you get like 3 email addresses. You can do like info@yourbusiness.com or admin@yourbusiness.com. Down the road, when you increase your team members, that email can be assigned to, say, a virtual assistant or a secretary or something. Maybe if you and your business partner share a business card, you can use info@yourcompany.com so that it will go to both of you, so you have less lines on your business card. So that's that. So glad we did that. So by the way, what is Jolific anyway? So Jolific, our company, it's our last name. When Vance and I got married, we like to put a Joe on everything. We put a little Joe spin on things. So for example, our backyard, we call it the Joasis. And in the backyard, we have our Josebo. It's wonderful. I just text my girls in the neighborhood, like, the Josebo is open, and people start showing up in my backyard. It's fantastic. We have a hammock in the back corner. We call it Joe Hammocksburg. We have a fire pit. We call it Ring Around the Josie. And then our dog Kevin, he had liked to dig when he was younger. So we put a sandbox out there and we call that the Josie Shore. We have chickens. I know, I'm crazy. We have chickens and we call that Josavian Manor. I mean, come on. So that's our theme. And, with the acorn, which represents growth, we took the word prolific and added a Joe to it. So it's Jolific. Now, it is a total pain in the ass when I'm trying to spell it for people. What's your email address? It's Jolific. They're like SIC. So that is a pain in the ass. But I do tell them, it's Josey plus prolific because we're all about growth. And so it just starts clicking and oh, okay, I get it now. So get creative. When you use words that are made up, you do have to spell it. That is a pain in the ass. But, when you put the meaning behind it, then it also triggers them to remember it more, makes you stand out. So maybe you love a dragonfly because I know a dragonfly, the symbol of a dragonfly, it represents transformation. So maybe your business name is Transformation Homes and you use a dragonfly as your logo. That's super cute. Maybe you're an avid runner. Crazy. Maybe you're an avid runner and you call your company Finish Line Homes. Maybe you love pink azaleas and you call your company Azalea Homes, and every house that you renovate, you plant pink azaleas in the front yard. Maybe you're a fisherman. You could call your company Tackle Box Real Estate and spell real REEL. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Someone pay me. Your tagline could be, let us hook the best deal for your home. Oh my goodness. If someone doesn't steal that. Anyway, so I hope I gave you some great ideas. If you're listening to this and you have a great name for your business, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to leave comments below. I still have to learn how to work this podcast thing, but leave a comment below. Tell us how you came up with your name. Put your website on there. People who are listening to this podcast are trying to come up with ideas, and maybe you have a fantastic idea. So put it in there. We can all learn from it. And that is it, everybody. I appreciate you joining me for my very first podcast. And that's it. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Whoop, whoop.
Thank you for listening to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. If you need more badassery, you can follow Jen Josey by visiting therealjenjosey.com or become a member of RAIN by registering on rainmastermind.com.